timing. So that would be really good. We could save having the flower in there to her. I've been kind of wondering when that was gonna happen. When she was gonna finally
Go south,
be a good enough help
winter,
to
yeah.
stay in there. All.
If we can confirm she's not there, that it would be a good thing.
Yeah.
So
What's the chances of Gary allowing us to use his?
I think the chances may be slightly better now. I think one of the issues that we'd had is one of our greater operators and Gary were not necessarily getting along. And that greater operator is no longer with the county.
Okay, good. Well, that'd be great if you can pull that off.
I'll see what we can
It
do.
would save a significant amount of money. So what issues do we have for Road and Bridge?
No, I don't have anything on the agenda for action items.
We
That's-
had an action. item.
Yeah, as far as 45th East, they should be opening that up to traffic here really quickly. And for the winter shutdown and then start back up in the spring. But that should be happening pretty quick.
I drove down there on, what was it, Monday night, maybe? Drove through there, cause you can still get through and it looked like they just had. Basically, the manholes were covered,
Yeah,
like they had poured the concrete, they were waiting for it to set up,
Yeah, they were yesterday too. There was blankets in the middle of the road.
yeah.
Maybe I
You
was
said
just
that they're-
looking the other way when I
they're
went by the blankets.
So you had to dodge them. so.
Oh.
Yeah, you had to drive all around.
No, they pulled them. This morning I didn't have to swerve to miss anything.
okay. Maybe they pulled it right after you went through because everybody.
Maybe, yeah, my daughter went too early and ran over them all. So,
Do you want to explain the request?
Yeah, so basically up in Comore Loma, there's natural drainages that they have to get approved by the Army Corps of Engineers. They have to have a whole drainage plan for the area, so that's what they're waiting for the sign off on. They just haven't got it back from Army Corps, so they're just asking for an extension on their final plat until they get that taken care of.
You have any concerns with that? Then?
I've had concern with drainage up in Comore Loma for years, but the extension I don't have a problem with. So there's just significant challenges with drainage up there.
Did you see the picture I sent you yesterday?
No, I don't think so.
So this is part of the problems that you run into, and I
Oh, I
don't know
did see that picture. I wasn't sure where it was
what
at.
we're gonna do about this. But
And those are utility boxes. It's
So,
the utility
this is in
company.
Comore Loma, you've got all that natural drainage up there. See how that's in a hole right at the road corner?
Yeah.
So you've got power box, fire hydrant, all the utilities are down in that hole.
Wow.
That's a
So
good
when
place
it
for 'em.
snows or when the runoff happens, that's gonna be a natural accumulation for water. And all the utilities are right down in that hole.
How did that happen?
So I sent that to you because
That
I
would
didn't
be
know
Skidmore.
Really?
if we
I mean,
needed to
he's
tell
the
them to
one
move
telling-
them or what.
So when that came through, I didn't know how it was. I didn't have that in contact. Your number didn't come through. And so I was like, I don't know where
You're like,
this
who's
is.
texting me about this?
Yeah. So, okay, now I put you in my phone now, so I didn't know
Yeah.
why that. But it's utilities and it's Skidmore is the one telling them where those utilities need to go. He's the one building the roads up that high
Wow.
and there's not much I can do about it, cause most of these utilities are putting it in a utility easement. Mostly out of the right of way.
I was gonna call Tim Solomon, I haven't called him yet, but I was just gonna call and ask him what his thoughts are about stuff like that, because. I mean, the hydrant. It's gonna get covered by snow, but that's the property owner's responsibility to keep it clear.
Well, the property owner and the water company,
Yeah,
which is Skidmore.
but the power box, you get water down in there.
Surprised Utah Power would.
It concerns me with what's gonna happen to that box when
Yeah.
it gets wet, so.
That swell dead ends of that corner of the road, is that a county accepted road?
The road is part of an accepted, well, so if you look at this is a driveway, right? This is a
Yeah.
concrete driveway. So
So
a
the
concrete
road's
driveway,
straight. But that's where they put the driveway,
Oh, I see.
and then that's a hole right
so if
there,
the
so you
driveway
got
wasn't
that,
there, it would still be down at the bottom of the slope, but it wouldn't be in a hole.
yeah.
But so the driveway, I mean, putting the driveways where they're putting the driveways, it's not a good thing either, but I don't know how to,
Does the driveway have a culvert under it to allow water?
I don't think
Continue
so,
through.
I'll have to ask Vernon.
That's what I was wondering, is how much of a collector is that for water?
He
Seems
took
like
the-
it's gonna put pressure on that road.
He took the picture yesterday, but he didn't tell me if it had a culvert or not, he was up there doing an inspection.
it should have a culvert, again, for drainage issues,
Yeah.
but there's a lot up there that haven't put them in. Although I've
Mhm.
tried to make sure that every house up there gets one with talking with Skidmore. Skidmore just, well, I can't control what the homeowner does.
So I'll make a motion to approve this
Extension?
extension for.
Yes, I would move we extend the,
I'll second it.
Just- All in favor of this.
Aye.
Anything else, Austin?
No, that was all that I had.
So have you been getting the emails from Mike Mullis requesting a disclosure agreement signed
no,
for a group project from IPE? Have you heard anything about that?
ITE.
Mm-mm.
It's the capital letters IPE. Our clients group project IPE is what we were discussing with both of you along with other county and city officials. It's from Mike Mullis, President, CEO of JM Mullis Inc. in Memphis, Tennessee.
What's it about?
Yeah,
Once the non-disclosure agreement's in place,
don't click on it.
our firm can assure the county and city that the local governments will be very interested in this particular multi-billion-dollar project.
Haven't heard
This is,
anything about.
yes, I did read this, and then I.
You got it as well?
Yeah,
Okay.
because the Mike who's sending the letter is intending to introduce us to Jason Barnes with the Idaho Commerce Group. He says, Mike, please meet Commissioner Walker from Bonneville County. I'm sure
That's
yours,
what I got.
please
Please
meet Brian Reed.
Sure, yeah.
It's like,
Sounds like a scam.
that's like,
Don't click on the link.
Well, they did send
I
me
didn't.
the non-disclosure and I did open and read the non-disclosure. I didn't think it was scam. Yeah, I don't think it is.
It's
You know,
probably not.
It's a
probably
basic
just-
non-disclosure.
so we can't talk about what we talk about if we talk about anything with them?
Well, I think we can talk about this, but they don't want to,
Only in legal.
they don't want to introduce the project to us until we've signed a non-disclosure. You know, denial.
Did you have to jump through those hoops with the Regal when they first started rubbing noses? Was that before you?
That was before me.
Hmm.
I actually sent it to Scott this morning.
Good.
Because, yeah, I'm not.
More
I'm
trusting than
comfortable
I am,
signing it.
you send it to Scott, I just deleted it.
We've had
I don't
some,
think it's a scam.
no, I don't think so either.
But
The
you
thing,
haven't heard anything. Nobody's approached you then.
I was thinking maybe, but I don't think it's this, cause we've had somebody that's requested us or called us and set up a meeting about these ammonia producing facilities. Have you ever heard of those?
I've heard of them, but I.
It's like a
I've never heard
new-
anything here.
There's like a new thing that this company's doing. They were looking for a site here, but they'll actually make an agreement to take some of the waste from like the landfill or the transfer station, and then they use the waste to produce ammonia. And then they sell that ammonia out of their plant. So I was thinking maybe it was that, but that's a different company than the company I met with on that.
multi-billion-dollar project. That's-
Yeah, and this wasn't
Scary.
that.
Yeah,
But somebody did buy. Well, but that's not it either, because their place where Revo is gonna go
It's the
is
new
now
company's name.
owned by Orano.
Yeah.
And they have talked about coming back with a project, so I could be tied in with that, but
that could be.
Well, it could be another windmill farm out there too. I mean,
yeah.
they've talked to us about certain roads out there and potential for windmills out on the west sides too, so.
Okay, well, I'll see what Scott says. After the ordinance went out, a week or so ago or right away, did you guys hear any feedback back from your counterparts?
So the only thing we heard today was that they've seen them and they were asking a couple questions about how it ties in with CBI off-road. It's like, well, CBI off-road predates this ordinance, so it's not.
What's CBI out there?
Their new facility, which kind of is the facility kind of geared why we did the ordinance in the first place.
Go on out across from Intermountain Packing. House
The
right
city of
stuff
Idaho
out
Falls
there.
ran water and
Remember
sewer
we
down the road.
talked about that whole
That's
ordeal.
the how I-
That in the beginning that the water and sewer, the city's water and sewer was there, but they wouldn't let them hook into it. So we ended up doing the development.
So I had a really good discussion with Mayor Casper yesterday after my RDA meeting, and we talked about a lot of these. Of course, she had questions about this, and concerns, and I assured her that we shouldn't have blindsided her, that Chris and Wade knew about this all through the development, was asked for input, and so, I assured her that it wasn't anything we were trying to sneak up on them about. She was asking me what precipitated it, and I said it was that deal with rights, but I could not. Would you walk me through that again?
Yeah, so
And where it is?
basically, it's, where Starting Line Products is,
Okay.
right there by KJ's.
Yeah,
So you got all those small little buildings, and then just to the east side of Starting Line Products, there's that field. And that's Howard's property that he bought.
okay,
So the city, when they did Intermountain Packing, their water line runs in Iona Road.
Their sewer line runs in.
Their sewer line
Right past.
runs in Iona Road. Right in front of that, they have a hydrant on Howard's property. In
But
the
they
right of
won't
way.
Allow them to connect.
So this all started because Hal wanted to build a new building for CBI. Their office right now is directly across the street on the other side of Iona Road. So he wanted a new storage facility.
yes,
And so anyways, that all started because of that. I told Hal to reach out to the city and say, hey, basically, will you allow me to hook into your water sewer with some kind of agreement? That when KJ's gets annexed, that will annex. So we went through all that process. I had several email exchanges with Carrie and Wade. I think that might have still been in Brad's time too. I can't remember. Anyways, we exchanged several emails and the city basically made the determination, no, we won't service anybody outside of city limits and we can't annex CBI, so we're not gonna do anything for them. Well, the property,
and why couldn't they annex them?
because they're not adjacent,
Contiguous.
It's not right across the road.
no.
Okay.
So they didn't have anything touching. So they basically came in, CBI did, went through all the process in the county. And agreed, okay, we'll put in our own septic system
Well,
and own well. And then we made them in the development agreement basically agree that when they're able to, they'll hook in the city of Idaho Falls
when they're
services.
able to annex, they'll annex.
And we
connect.
made them put dry lines in that run out to the road so they can tie into those services.
So we did everything we could.
So basically, we exhausted every effort to try to get some connectivity with the city before we even allowed them to do anything. But it just was one of those scenarios where because of the land use, because of the zoning, they have a right to do something there as long as they supply what is needed, so.
I couldn't put the facts together well enough in my mind to really be clear with her. Would you, ask Wade if he would, relay that information on to her? Because she was very interested in that. And because I couldn't explain it, I said, well, I'm pretty sure Wade is very aware of it. But
Carry too, yeah.
I will have them brief you on this, so you're really informed. So would you do that?
Yep.
Reach out to Wade and tell, and he can do it like, I got word through Austin, and Commissioner Reed wanted me to make sure that you understood what happened there. And that this is one of the concerns that we have without extension of services. Because it was a very good conversation with her, and she was wanting to understand, why is this important to you? Why do you guys want us to agree to this when, members of their city council don't want to even consider any type of extension?
Do you feel like it opened her mind to
Yeah.
the concept of it?
I do.
That's because you're non-argumentative, and you didn't say in the meeting we had, you said you'd cross this bridge and they'll open the door for extending services.
Yeah,
You didn't do that.
no,
No.
well, I did say this is why, we need to understand it better, that you need to understand why. And I get their side. I mean, she said that, they extended down to the New Sweden School for the charter school. As trying to accommodate that school when it was redone as a charter, and she said, we've gotten nothing out of that, because none of that ground can be annexed in between, and
We've got nothing out of that either, but.
yeah. And so I understand,
Charter school did.
yeah. I understood their concerns a little more than I did before. But there's these one-off situations, just like this one with rights, that make you go, this only makes sense, there has to be some exceptions. I understand not wanting to extend, a mile in ground, will never be annexed, but.
Well, and what was interesting about the scenario is it's actually written in the city's water ordinance, if you go read through it, that the city council has the right to agree to extend services to properties outside of city limits. So Hal tried to set up a meeting with the city council and he couldn't even get in front of them. They wouldn't even let him set up a meeting to propose the extension of services. So there is a mechanism that they already have there, which is basically just the city council agreeing, hey, this makes sense, but they don't use it.
And in this scenario where the water line and the sewer line were already in the road. And they won't let them connect to it is even different than the charter school where they had to run the water line and sewer line out to the school. Like, it's in front of the property.
Yeah,
Well, and I just think it's good you had that conversation though, because I think that opens the door to both the mayor and city council to say, this is why the extension of services matters to the county.
yeah.
So that we're not directly affecting citizens of the community on development of their property when there's already utilities there or the availability of utilities there. And it comes down to, and we've talked about this a little bit, but those lines and utility extensions, it doesn't really make sense for taxpayer dollars to help fund that and then not even be available to people who are helping to fund
And we
that.
don't want 2 sewer lines and 2 water lines
Yeah.
in a roadway.
And I tried to explain that to her and she understood. I mean, we had a very good conversation.
Oh, that's
And,
good.
So I will email her and tell her that I understand a little more of what I couldn't explain yesterday, and And that Wade has all the information. He understands it fully,
Yeah.
right?
Carrie does too. So
Okay,
we've talked about it several times.
I'll let her know.
And I even went and asked them, I think Lance might have been there, because it was in one of those area of impact meetings we had, I brought it up and I said, what can we do? You know, just to try to make a solution out of it, but
I know that the public works side of it, I didn't communicate a whole lot with them about the ordinance just because it wasn't necessarily in the, it ties up with more with planning and more with, do we extend these things?
but
The
Chris,
physical ability to do.
Chris
so.
was aware because I had talked to him
Chris
about
was
it two or
aware.
three
I
times.
know they were aware.
Yeah,
I know Kent didn't know all that much about it, at least from what he was asking today.
Okay, I appreciate that. Having Wade get that. I did encourage, her um, to have Wade reach out and start working with you on this new area of impact, and, she indicated that she would. And so you might just, next time you have a conversation with Wade, see if that has started yet. But I think from our side, we would like to see you guys start on that agreement again. And I would like to see you two keep it to yourselves. I mean, not to yourselves, you know, with conversations with us, but you two work on it until you get it to a comfortable spot. To where then the planning and zoning and us already have an agreement that's mostly been agreed upon.
yeah,
So that it doesn't get complicated by larger groups, you know, trying
Yeah.
to come together. I think you two can come to something that works.
I agree.
And then help us understand why you're wanting to do what you want to do, and then make sure that we agree.
Right.
So anyway, hopefully that'll get you started.
No, that's good. Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else?
I did get, we got the agreement back with the Fish and Game. Then they asked for an invoice, so I got an invoice to Ryan Walker, and hopefully we'll get the money for Upper Meadow Creek Road back from that.
Of course, we're not even talking about road closures yet, or,
We're not talking about them, but we have, where those areas are, we don't do maintenance beyond November 15th, so if you receive any calls for maintenance on those roads, we're not gonna go up and grade them or anything. I think the closures may have, I don't know, we'll be talking about it before Christmas, I imagine,
I would guess,
so.
you know. But the other side of that is, there's really good grass this year, you know, because of the wet summer. There's just great grass. People are gonna wanna leave their cows out as long as possible.
Yeah,
Feed prices and beef prices are sky high right now, so they're gonna wanna take advantage of this good year, so. I don't wanna see us close them out any sooner than we absolutely have to.
what I do intend to have happen though is we're going to get new locks, and so those people that had keys are gonna have to come back in and get a different key.
They didn't return them to you.
Many of them didn't get returned. And so I think having them, if they got a key last year, is pretty easy to say, yeah, they had a reason for getting a key last year, but they're gonna have to come in and turn in their old key and get a new key because the locks are gonna be changed on those gates.
We have to do that.
So,
Okay.
and then if anybody is a new applicant for it, you're probably gonna have to make that determination again, whether they truly need a key to get back there.
Okay.
So, and I'll still be sending them to the commissioners to say, get the commissioner's authorization for us to issue you a key.
Did that cause any problems that you didn't see coming last year? Those that had keys?
Yeah, it caused a few. I mean, we had some incidences where gates were not locked back up and stuff like that, but it's hard to point a finger at who actually did it, so.
Well, that can be re-encouraged, you know, when keys are given out again this year.
Yeah,
We did have some trouble and we don't wanna have to stop this practice, you know, we wanna be able to keep doing this, but
oh, we need.
we need to
some-
follow the rules.
Follow the rules, yeah.
Anything else?
There was, and I don't know if John got it too, the email that you received from the Miles about building rights.
Yeah.
I know that they sent it to Roger, I know that you got it. I met with them yesterday afternoon, or I guess it was Monday afternoon. We talked a little bit and then I decided I was gonna re-research everything, cause there was a letter written back in 2000 that told them they didn't have a building right, cause there was too many state breaks, so I finished this morning. Going back and re-researching that property, and their property was actually one of the 4 original state breaks that should have received a building permit. There was 2 building permits that didn't have any road frontage that were somehow issued in the 70s by administrative error. So I ended up going ahead and giving them a building permit because I don't think that they should have been punished for the administrative error that was made in the 70s on our part, so that should be all taken care of.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah, that's good.
they were
Thank
happy
you
when
for
I talked to
researching
them
it.
today,
Okay, very good.
so that, just wanted to report on that, that was all that I had.
Nothing else, Lance or David?
I think so.
Okay, we'll go ahead and close the